Chat with Gunner, episode 60, Ethan.
Yep.
It's called Sip Your Zoa
Sip your Zoa?
and Let's Effin' Goa.
Is that literally the tagline?
I believe that's the tagline.
It's kind of weak, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like it as much as I thought.
There was a better one that was funny. They're all cheesy, and I think and when he says them, like he says it with like this is cheesy, you know. There's a lot of cheese on that slogan, you know. So, a fan. So The Rock just came out with his debut healthy alternative to an energy drink. Which, I mean, if you look at most of these things, you look at the back and it's a bunch of stuff you can't pronounce, which is never good for you. There's probably preservatives in them. There's probably some synthetic coloring in them. There's probably some artificial flavoring in them. So at the very top of this, it says there's 0 of that. So that's good.
Cool.
The original ones he came out with, these first ones without the 0 sugar, have about 24 carbs, 23 sugars to make sure it hits you. But other than that, 100 calories, pretty much hits all your daily nutrients when it comes to like your vitamins. So, I mean, there's definitely some advantages to this drink more so than like a Reign or a Bang.
Yeah.
And I think those are healthy alternatives to like a Monster or a Red Bull.
Oh, Monster's just the worst thing you can put in your body.
Yeah. So the cool thing with this one is the immunity blend, because they went back and revamped it during coronavirus.
Okay.
So this is probably one of the only energy drinks that has vitamin D in it, which I'm a big proponent of.
That's good.
And a bunch of vitamin C, so that's for your immune system. And then it's got some hydration in it, a little potassium and magnesium. So I don't know, man. And the caffeine's cut in half. So instead of 300 milligrams, it's 160 milligrams, and it's purely extracted from green tea and coffee beans.
Okay.
So
That's good. That's good.
sip your Zoa. Let's effing Goa.
I'm still not sold.
It's good.
But hey,
So
as long as it's good.
yeah, so Tia got me 2 cases, the original, and this is Super Berry. So far, I like the original better than Super Berry.
What's the original like? Is it just like a...
It's a great question because all of his other drinks have names for their flavoring.
Yeah.
Right? Like this tastes like Super Berry.
Okay.
You know, like if you drink that, you're like, that's Super Berry.
It's a berry.
I haven't had the other ones, but original is almost like a good tasting Red Bull.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask. Is it like a Red Bull or a Monster energy drink?
Yes, like a good, because they don't really have a flavor to them.
Well, they have their own flavor.
They have, yes, but it's a good tasting version of one of those.
Okay. I'm down. Because actually, like, I'm going to be honest with you, the white Monster, the white and blue, that was my go-to all through high school.
Yeah,
or senior year at least.
Yeah, I definitely like the 0 Monster white. Yeah. That was good. The 0 Monster orange was good. The purple was good.
Yeah,
all those were good. So yeah, I'm anxious to try the 0 sugar, which just came out this Monday, and I bought 3 cases of those. I got an original, and I got a pineapple coconut, which I'm very excited to try.
That should be good.
And lemon lime, which I think that's gonna be good too.
Yeah.
So I went back and I was like, I'm gonna get just the other 2 or 3 flavors just because. Sold out.
How much was this a case, by the way?
That's a great question. I don't know because I had Tia get them.
Oh, okay.
I bet if you looked them up though, so he just signed the deal with like GNC and Vitamin Shop. They've just hit the floors there, and he just signed the deal with Amazon. So now that's how I'll get them moving forward. Is I'll just go Amazon Prime them. Probably get on like a subscription, probably a little bit cheaper.
You have that one button in your house, and you're just like, I'm out of Zoa.
Yeah.
Click.
So yeah, man. The one thing I do want to try, I have 2 bottles of the Terramana tequila also, and I think what a cool drink would be maybe one night on here would be to take a shot of Terramana tequila and then pour some Zoa into the tequila, and you turn into the Rock.
Yeah.
I mean,
that actually sounds really awesome.
It probably not bad. I mean, I used to drink a lot of Red Bull and vodka.
Yeah. Last night was St. Patty's Day on Rejected. Mm-hmm. We did car bombs, and I absolutely hated it. We did it with, I don't know where they're at. We had some paper cups.
Yeah.
We didn't have shot glasses. But I feel like a chat with Gunner after dark, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, man. Listen, I used to get wild as any of them, and I definitely didn't drink because I liked the taste. So, shots were a thing, and drinking from the bottle was a thing, and it's just not my thing anymore. Not really a fan of the whole getting hammered and getting drunk and feeling terrible the next day. So, growing up, I'll sip my Zoa. Let's freaking go into the rest of this podcast.
So, just looking at it right now, a case is only like $30.
Yeah, it's just like a Reign or a Bang. Yeah.
But they say they're in stock on Amazon, but I don't think this is the zero sugar. It's the black can like that one.
Yeah, these are all in stock on the main website. Yeah. The zero sugar, not so much.
Not so much. All right.
Now, I saw somebody had one today on, it was Joey Lynch from the Lynch Mob, had one today on Facebook. So I'm assuming maybe he got one from like GNC or Vitamin Shop.
Possibly.
Because they,
Now, here's my question, because I'm all about convenience. Do you think these are going to be like in convenience stores, like right next to Bangs or Reigns, or are they the step above where they're only in like GNC and Vitamin Shops?
I'm not sure, because some gas stations carry like the C4 Energies, which you would think would usually be in a gym or a fitness store. And then you have like Red Lines, which are a little bit more of a pre-workout, more so than this. So those are also in some gas stations. It might not be in every gas station, but I guarantee you it will be in some gas stations.
I mean, hey, if that chain gets the deal, like how Amazon gets a deal and whatnot,
yeah,
I'm sure they're gonna make bank.
Well, here's the deal. Okay, so think about it this way: The Rock has 220 plus million followers just on Instagram.
Exactly.
That's not talking about Twitter. Yeah. That's not talking about Facebook. That's whatever the hell else he's on. So I don't know many companies. Actually, let me rephrase that for you. There's not any companies out there that have over 220 million subscribers.
No.
Not one. No. There's not any advertising companies, new channels that have over 220 million subscribers. You know why? Because he has the most. Oh, that's why. Yeah, I mean, it's like him going back and forth with Kylie Jenner, like it's that type of thing. So these will be in gas stations, and I'm hoping that this is the prelude to a supplement line.
Ooh.
Because, so these celebrities are using their brand now to create products.
Yeah.
Which pretty much all they're doing is, and so The Rock has his ex-wife, Dani Garcia, her husband right now, which is Dave Renzi, and then this other guy that are also partners in this Zoa creation, right? So Dave Renzi puts together The Rock's workouts and his diet. So that's like his thing. And Dani Garcia and The Rock are both jacked. So, I mean, and The Rock drinks this he's showing you now, like, I drink this in the mornings. I drink this if I'm tired during the day. I drink it before I work out. So, I'm sold. I'm all in.
I'm all in.
I'm all in. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I will. You'll probably see a bunch of these. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. It says healthy on it.
I mean, hey, it wouldn't say healthy on it if it wasn't healthy.
And it has a lot of vitamins.
What's the worst thing on that label?
I mean, the worst thing is sugar. Now here's the problem. Here's the thing. Sugar is okay. It just depends on
how much.
How much and when.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I really don't want to be drinking sugar right now, even though it's only 23 grams. What I would like to do is have one of the zero sugars for right now. So once the zero sugars come in, I don't see a problem with any of it.
There's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could come up with something just to be that guy, but it's almost like a very light pre-workout / multivitamin in a drink.
That sounds good, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, I haven't had any pre-workout since I've had these. I've been drinking them before I work out. And
any changes?
No, I mean, not necessarily. Nothing wild.
Major, yeah.
Usually, like, the reason I take pre-workout before I work out is for caffeine. Usually it's like, I want all the caffeine possible.
Yeah.
But looking into it, like if you take like a green tea extract pill or something, or a green coffee bean extract pill, you don't need as much caffeine because it's more pure.
Mm-hmm.
So you really don't need as much caffeine because it's like coffee.
Yeah.
It'd be like a cup and a half of coffee before you work out, which is pretty fair.
Yeah.
Where like you get like a Red Line that's, just, I don't know where they got that caffeine, but it's caffeine.
It's
and
it's a scary amount of caffeine.
400 milligrams or 500 milligrams of caffeine. So this is probably good. I mean, it's actually cutting my caffeine consumption down for the day. Because, if I drink 2 or 3 of these, I'm only doing, right around 400, roughly between 400 and 500 milligrams of caffeine a day. Where usually you'd be looking at a pre-workout, which is at least 300, maybe a couple bangs. Those are 300 a pop. Jesus. Maybe a cup of coffee,
I don't
80.
like thinking about it.
But I have a very high tolerance for caffeine. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. Yeah. Now, some people that don't, that could be an issue.
I mean, we've had the conversation within the last couple weeks. Me and caffeine.
Yeah.
Just, my heart starts hurting. My chest gets tight. And I'm just like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
But that sounds good. I'm excited for them to have a wider release. For them to actually be in stores.
I'll bring you a 0 sugar when I get one next week.
Yeah. Speaking of out of stock, though, nice transition.
What's
your boy copped himself a PS5.
Congratulations,
dude.
You fired up?
I am more than fired up. I have been very excited since about 3:00 today, and that's when I got it.
So walk me through this, because last night my nephew and my brother-in-law at our family dinner, which we do every Wednesday, was talking about the PS5 coming back out today.
Yeah.
And he was like, Amazon supposedly is going to be doing a release between like 8 and 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like ready to go as soon as that happened. And then you text me this morning. Or when did you text? No, you text me, yesterday?
I think it was this morning. Because it was like...
No, you texted this morning and said, hey, what's the plan for the day? I told you, and he was like, I'm trying to get a PS5.
Yeah. I've got nothing else better to do today.
Yeah. So
I made that decision. So a little prelude. I was planning on getting one on release. I had the money. I was ready. And then something came up. I don't even remember what it was. I was just like, I shouldn't spend $500 right now.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I was smart.
Look,
I made a good decision.
Look at you being smart, making grown-up decisions.
Paid off a credit card or two. I don't know. Whatever it was.
Right.
So I waited. And I kept up with PlayStation 5. I was like, I really want one. This is awesome. It looks awesome. Everything about it is just awesome. I'm excited. The family that I work for, they bought one for their son. And he had it at the shop because he's always there. If he had it at home, he wouldn't even be able to play it because he's always at the shop.
Right.
So I got to play it a little bit with him. And it was very fun. He's very next gen. And it got me more hype.
Okay. What is different from a PS4 and a PS5?
Well, I can tell you this. It's way faster. It's like going from it's like driving a Beamer to driving your car. It's just that much nicer. Now, graphically, it's already like graphics nowadays don't really matter because the line that it's jumping to is not that crazy when you compare it to like the PlayStation 4 Pro, which was released 3 years ago now. The PlayStation 4 Pro runs really well, but some of the newer games that released like last year, there's a game called Ghost of Tsushima. It's a samurai game.
I want to talk about that.
We need to talk about that game. It's a very good game.
Okay.
It looks great. It looks fantastic on my PlayStation 4, But I've seen renders of it playing on the PlayStation 5, and it doesn't look any different.
Yeah.
And I asked myself, well, then why am I getting a PlayStation 5? And then I saw the load times. When I boot up my PlayStation 4, it takes about 30 seconds to go from booting to get through the menus to actually be on a menu where I can hit start game. So I start the game, and it takes about another 30 to 40 seconds to go from title screen to actually playing the video game. On the PlayStation 5, it takes about 30 seconds for all of that. Everything that took like 2 to 3 minutes before is now maybe 10 seconds, maybe 30 seconds at max.
Okay.
And it just loads perfectly. No stutters, 60 frame rate all the time. It's fantastic from what I've heard. But no, so I'm really excited to get it, and I don't get it. I wait. January comes around, February comes around. I start to save a little bit more money. I'm back to where I can be. That I feel comfortable buying this thing.
Yeah.
And then the stimulus comes in. I'm like, oh, now I'm secure.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if they waited on the stimulus to hit before.
Well, there have been drops. Like there's been multiple drops here within the last 4 or 5 months.
Oh, there has?
Yeah, there's been plenty. Just not enough because of scalpers and bots and people buying them and then just reselling them.
Right.
So I told myself, if I don't get it within a couple months, I'll think about saving up to just buy a scalped one. I got the disc version because I just don't care to not have the disc version. Like I like having games on discs.
Yeah.
I like digital too, but
which one is more expensive?
The disc version, because you're paying for the 4K Blu-ray hard drive.
Cool.
Or disc drive.
Yeah.
So, and that's the other thing. Like, I've been gifted 4K Blu-rays before because people were like, "Oh, he's a movie guy. He's also a tech guy. He's probably got a 4K video player." I don't, but I will now.
Okay, another question. So, like, PlayStation takes forever to download a game.
Oh yeah, forever. It's the worst.
Okay.
This so the thing about the PlayStation 4, when it first came out, we didn't have Wi-Fi 5K. 5 kilohertz. I don't know if you've ever noticed the difference.
I guess not. No.
Like your phone, most phones nowadays can go to 2.4 and then 5.
Yes.
5 kilohertz is so much faster. And even the Ethernet port on the PlayStation 4 has a cap out on, I think 100 megabytes per second at home to download, and it still only hits like 64. But with PlayStation 5, it's modern, it's brand new. It'll be able to do the Wi-Fi at 5 kilohertz, and then it should be pretty open gigabit. I think I've heard rumors that people with gigabit internet have been able to basically get the gig on the PlayStation 5, which is nice.
So does that mean a game now, instead of taking 30 to 45 minutes to download, will download
sometimes 2 hours for a very small game?
Yeah,
comparatively.
So now like a couple of minutes.
I'd say probably 30 minutes for like Call of Duty. Which Call of Duty right now, I think Modern Warfare was like 200 gigabytes in total.
Yeah,
which is crazy for a single game. It's just not optimized. But back to the story. I wait. I have the money now. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, pay off everything, make sure everything's good, everything's squared away, everything's fine. And the day has come. This past week, I told myself, all right, everything's paid off. My credit score is now jumped up because I paid everything off again.
Yep.
So now I have to wait my turn. I have to think about this. I have to strategize. Where am I going to buy PlayStation 5 in March? And then I hear Amazon, March 18th, Thursday. There's going to be a drop. 46,000 units. Yes, that's the most units that they've had since launch.
That's what I heard last night.
46,000.
Yep.
That's good odds.
Good odds.
Well, having to beat out, everyone else that wants one, sure. But those are good odds.
But assuming most of like the guys that really wanted one already got them.
Yeah. The people that are like hounding for one already got one. And the people that are impatient have just bought scalped ones.
Correct.
Now, the people that are like me, that had to wait, that maybe this is their time to shine because they got their stimulus, they're gonna get one. Now is the time. And that's probably why it's such a big drop. It's because this is one of the first few drops with a lot of people having their stimulus. I got mine like the day after it was signed.
Yeah.
But a lot of people nowadays, a week or two later, have it. So
I think most of them went through like Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah.
So 46,000 units. I know I have a shot. I've been talking to friends. I'm like, I'm not going to get this sent to my house, my apartment, because I can't trust nobody.
Yeah.
I'm getting it sent to your place. Is that okay? Oh, yeah, it's fine. The friend also is like, hey, do you want help? Like, I can try and buy it for you, and then you just pay me back. I was like, hell yeah, absolutely. So we work it out, and I'll we've got 2 people trying to get one on Amazon, and then all of a sudden at like 9, it was supposed to happen at 9 or like between 9 and 11.
Yeah,
2 hours. It was going to drop. I was up. I was awake. I was pretty sold that I was like, oh, I'm going to get this. This is going to happen. So
now you're just refreshing Amazon.
I'm just refreshing. 9 o'clock. I refresh. Nothing. I get the dogs. There's a meme going around that's just like every time there's a drop on Amazon, you like their error message is like something went wrong. Enjoy this dog, and it's like 4 or 5 dogs.
Yeah,
but it's only like 4 or 5. Right. So you eventually see all of the dogs, and you're even more annoyed because you just wanted a PlayStation 5.
Right.
So they evidently just don't drop 46,000 units. There's just something just doesn't work.
Right.
And it's amazing to me that that Amazon decided today of all days just not to drop them. And I find that hilarious.
So then what was the next step in that process?
Next step was just devastation. I just don't, there's no PlayStation 5 to buy. Why would you, what's the point? Like I get to wait until the next drop at some point.
So did you Google like, excuse me, Amazon, I thought you was dropping 46,000
So
boxes
evidently what happened was there was a guy that I followed within the last week because I was planning for this. Guy I followed, he's on YouTube, and he's been accurate, I think, every single drop. Like he's heard rumors, he's verified his sources. He's like a journalist. It's amazing.
Yeah.
He's verified his sources. He talks about it with people, and he gets confirmation, and then he puts out like, "Hey, it's going to happen this day at this time, and good luck." And he's a super positive guy. Like the more I watch the guy, I'm like, this is the kind of guy you want, like giving you the information,
right?
Because he's like, you got this. He's a hype man, for everyone trying to buy one. And then he even says like, I don't have Amazon affiliate links because 1, they don't like me because I'm able to tell when their drops are happening, and 2, it's not about the money. I just want to help people buy their shit.
Right.
So
fair.
So evidently, because he's kind of on the outs with Amazon because they are kind of annoyed that somebody knows when things are dropping and they don't want their site crashing.
Yeah.
He was super honest with people, and he was just like, I'm not going to tell you the time until everybody else knows the time. Like, I'm not going to say it first because I don't want to be the guy that gets that ruins it. Because Amazon has been very, if all the scalpers know all at the time when to be there, the site's going to crash and we lose money because our site has crashed. And so he was super like secretive with it. He was like, I'm not going to tell you the time, but here's a photo from a phone looking at a computer screen with their back end on it. And it was like PS5s, 46,000, date to launch Thursday, March 18th, 2021, and like the time frame. And it was like in like old computer script. Mm-hmm. So it was like one of the lines was online or like, push the stock or not. It was set to no, and somebody had typed in set to yes. So they were waiting. They were ready. The PlayStation 5s are in hand in Amazon, and they were ready to start sending them out when people buy them. 9 o'clock rolls around, 10 o'clock rolls around, 11 o'clock rolls around. There's nothing. And evidently, it's because somebody on the board at Amazon was like, or, higher up at Amazon was just like, we can't set this out because people are going to start crashing the website. And to be honest, to be fair, when I was on there at 9 o'clock, the site did crash. I got the dogs. And the dogs mean that the site is not doing well.
So here's a question. How many people get on Amazon every day?
That's the thing. There's a lot of people on Amazon every day.
So
it's more than you'd think.
So how does an extra 40,000 people crash it?
Well, no, that's the thing. It's not just 40,000 people. There's probably a solid million people looking for PlayStation 5 right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Not including all of the bots and scalpers that are using the bots.
Yeah.
That their sole purpose is to basically send signals like they're multiple people so that one gets it. Mm-hmm. It's like throwing out a fishing line. Somebody like me is just throwing out one line.
Yeah.
The bots and scammers are throwing out 17 different lines all at once in this little pond, and that's crashing the site.
Yeah, I got screwed on some Joe Rogan tickets because of that one time.
Exactly. And that it happens everywhere. And what I learned was Amazon's actually the worst place to go because of the bots. Because it's so easy for them to just check out with one touch. So I took that as a sign. Maybe it's just not the day.
Yeah.
It's just not the day to get one. And then, lo and behold, I hear the rumor. 3 o'clock. I check the Walmart.com listing for the PlayStation 5 disc version. $499. 3 o'clock, Thursday, March 18th. And I tell myself, all right, I've got 3 hours. I've got to prepare. I just get in the zone. I look up the guy on YouTube. I look at his guide on like, what's the best way of getting the PlayStation 5 on Walmart? Because he's got one for literally every big box website. Just because there are tips and tricks because of all of their different back ends that like, if you go on Amazon, if you put it in your wish list and hit add to cart there, sometimes it'll just automatically go through instead of having to be blocked by all the people that are on the PlayStation 5 Amazon like listing.
Yeah.
So I looked up Walmart, and it's basically the same thing. You put in your wish list, and you can just refresh your wish list on your phone instead of having to go to the listing on Walmart.com, and you have to go out of it and go back in it, go out of it, go back in it on the app. I wasn't using a computer, so I was just on my app, just doing it that way. So 3 o'clock rolls around, and I tell myself, I've got it. I've got the listing. And I did a prep. I did the Xbox Series X because they dropped at $230.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to test it. I'm not going to buy it because I don't want an Xbox. But I'm going to test it to see how easy this is going to be. And I got it in my cart. I was like, okay, it's not bad. What you got to do is just when the time hits, you just refresh it. You go into it from your wish list, whatever you're going to do. If you get the add to cart thing, that means that because you're able to add it to cart, even if it's out of stock and it doesn't let it go in, you just got to keep hitting that button. I hit it probably a couple hundred times, just like waiting, just because I was just like, I'm not doing anything. I was watching, what was I watching today? I was watching something on HBO Max. It wasn't Justice League, which we'll talk about later.
Right.
But I was watching something and I was just like, mindlessly doing it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have, there's nothing else you need to do. You just got to make sure it gets into your cart.
Right.
And by the graces of God, Walmart's phone app vibrates when you put something in your cart. So I knew when it happened.
Oh, wow.
So 3 o'clock comes around. I got onto the site page for the PlayStation 5 disc version. And I hit add. I got the button for add to cart instead of the, Thursday, 3 o'clock. This is when it's coming in. So I start hitting the button. And I'm watching the show. I hit the button. And I notice, it's 3:05. It's 3:10. And right about 3:10, I got one in my cart. It vibrated. I was like, heck yes. Got everything set up. I've got the address put in. I've got my card information in there. It's all saved. I don't have to do anything. I just got to hit checkout. I go to checkout. And then I've been told, if you get it in your cart, it does not mean you have one set aside for you. So you should probably wait for 10 minutes. Wait 10 minutes, have it in your cart, and then because they drop them in intervals of 10 minutes, they drop a set amount. So you have it in your cart at 3:10. Don't try and check out because it's going to say it's out of stock. You wait until 3:20, and then it's in stock. You hit checkout. You go through the whole thing. It works. Except at 3:20, I tried to check out. It's in my cart. Everything's good, and it lets me get to the checkout. That means that I've got one. I've got it. I just got to enter my information. And then I stop and I wait. Like, what? I got to enter my information again? I thought I had it saved. So I hurriedly type in the address. I hit a continue. And what do you know? It kicks me out. It kicks me out from the checkout. It was in my cart. It was in my cart. And I hit checkout and I was in the checkout. I saw the taxes come up so that I could pay for it.
Yeah.
And it didn't let me because it was out of stock.
Oh my God.
And what's worse, it was removed from my cart.
Oh my God.
So I went back and I was like, I may not get this. It's fine. I didn't know how many waves there were going to be every 10 minutes or whatever. So I quickly got reset up. Like I removed everything, got back to base.
Yeah.
And I was ready to hit add to cart at 3:30. And I hit add to cart at 3:30. It happened to all work, just like dominoes falling into place. That at 3:30, I hit add to cart. It immediately went in. And I immediately went to into my cart. I hit checkout. I wasn't going to wait another 10 minutes. I didn't care.
Right.
I did it. And I just kept hitting continue because it brought up the saved information this time.
Yeah.
And so by 3:32 on March 18th, 2021, your boy got a PlayStation 5.
Congratulations.
I am so happy. And I was so stressed out.
That's a full work day.
There are people that have been trying to do this since December.
Yeah.
Since November. If not like summer last year for pre-orders.
It was like the Turbo Man toy this year.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I did it on the first day. I'm very I feel accomplished.
So do you have a game to play when you get it?
Oh yeah. So what's nice about the PlayStation 5 is if you have PlayStation Plus, which is the like online service, it's like Xbox Live.
Yeah.
There is a set number of games that are just called the PlayStation Collection or the PlayStation Plus Collection.
Yeah.
And it's like God of War, Last of Us 2. I think Ghost of Tsushima might be coming to it. Horizon Zero Dawn, Until Dawn. A bunch of games that are just like, these are the games that you would play if you have a PlayStation console.
Gotcha.
Which I think I have majority of them anyway.
Yeah.
But a lot of them now have the PlayStation 5 upgrades, which is important.
Yeah.
Like God of War, it was a free upgrade. I don't think there's any game right now that you have to pay for the PlayStation 5 version if you own it on PlayStation 4, which is really nice.
Yeah, I saw I got the new Madden a while back, and it came with like a PlayStation 5 adaptation.
Yeah.
If you need
so that's also the reason why you would buy the disc version, because a lot of those will still require you to play the disc in the console.
Gotcha.
So like Cyberpunk 2077, that's how they first do it. And I think, hopefully, I heard rumors that if you put your disc in, it will just give you the download for the digital PlayStation 5 version, which will be nice.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, again, it's super fast. And if it's on the SSD itself, it'll be even faster.
Right.
I don't have to worry about anything. So I've got those games. Spider-Man is obviously the main selling point for the PlayStation 5 right now.
Is it?
The Miles Morales version.
Yeah.
Which isn't a full game, to be fair. Like it's literally just built off of the first Spider-Man game.
Mm-hmm.
But even this first Spider-Man game, again, has an upgrade.
Right.
And it looks amazing. So yeah, no, I'm super excited. It's probably going to be 2 weeks before I have it.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'm willing to wait now.
Right.
As long as I know that it's coming.
Oh yeah.
I will jump over the next hurdle when it comes.
Yeah.
If something happens in the mail, I'll deal with it when it gets here.
There you
I don't
go.
have to worry about it though.
Right. It is paid for.
It is paid for.
You've got a tracking number.
I have, well, not yet.
But you
Probably
have
by tonight.
You have a receipt confirmation.
I have the confirmation from Walmart that I have purchased a console.
There you go.
So if it does not arrive before April 9th or whenever it's supposed to get here, I have somebody I can call.
There you go. Well, I'm fired up. That sounds like a.
I'll bring it in. I'll figure out a way for you to be able to play it because
we got the thingy. We got the thing.
We need to start using this.
Yeah, we need to use that anyway.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm so happy. I was worried that it's going to be like a 2-month endeavor of me trying literally every time, or like working when a drop happens and not being able to do it.
Right.
So like this being my, the day that I set aside to do it.
Yep.
It's done. I don't have to worry about it. I can just move on with my life for the rest of until I get it, and then I can play it when it gets here.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But speaking of,
talked about that Ghost game.
Yes. So Ghost of Tsushima is probably the game of the year last year.
Yeah.
If I gotta be honest with you. It's about a guy on the island of Tsushima, which is, so you have the map of Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
The very bottom of Japan, in the very end of the curve, there is a small island called Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
I think in like, I don't want to say BC, like 600, 700s, AE or AD, whatever. The Mongols invaded Japan. Tsushima was the first island to get invaded because it's a stepping stone to get to mainland.
Right.
And the game is basically about one samurai having to work his ass off to save the island of Tsushima. And it is a beautiful game. It is amazing. The story is good because it's one of those stories where it's almost a Western. It's like they took how samurai film, or Westerns were taken from samurai films for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one is taking from Westerns and making a samurai film.
Mm.
It's very Kurosawa, which I don't know if you've ever seen a Kurosawa film.
I've not.
They're worth watching. I think there's Seven Samurai is very, very good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other Kurosawa films. Lord, I'm blanking. But Kurosawa films, very good. Like I said, they're samurai films. He's a Japanese director.
Yeah.
He made nothing but gold. And this game is a love letter to that. It's just it's both authentic, like it is as close to a 1-to-1 comparison to the island itself, to the culture of the island, the different breakdowns of different cultures on the island, because they're all Japanese, sure, but there are the people that live near the mountain, and there are the people that live near the river, there are the people that live near the coast. There's all these different villages that have totally different like cultures. It's very fascinating.
Is it like the Red Dead Redemption of the Wild West, but for samurai?
So it's easy for open world games to be compared to Skyrim, to Red Dead, to Far Cry, GTA, but you have to take Red Dead and GTA can be compared to each other because they're the same company making them. Rockstar. But when you get to these kind of games, these those are open world games, sure, but they're a very specific kind of open world game. This is more of a story driven, like it is open world and there are side quests, but it's more of an RPG in that
like
sense.
Batman, like Arkham.
It's a lot like the Arkham games, actually.
Okay.
Now that you put it that way. So the Arkham games, you have all of the different villains that you can go do quests and try and defeat.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing here. There are different villages. Actually, to be fair, I think this game is more like an Assassin's Creed or a Far Cry game. Okay. It's more of a Ubisoft game, but it wasn't made by Ubisoft. Guess who made this game? Who? The same guys that made Sly Cooper.
Really? And
Infamous, if you ever played those.
Never.
Infamous is also very good.
It's a
superhero game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Sucker Punch, they just come out and like I think this time last year we barely saw gameplay. And then it comes out in like June or July and it blows everything out of the water.
Huh.
It was so good. But yeah, like it's one of those things where I think if you play it, you may not like it at first because there are some aspects of gameplay that are like kind of repetitive or something like that. There's some you can nitpick this game for sure.
With any game.
But when you like sit down and you're like, is this a good game? It's one of the perfect games of last year. On a side note of how authentic it was, there is a shrine. You know the torii gates, the Japanese torii gates. There was a torii gate near, I think near one of the coasts. That in game, it's just another torii gate. You go to them, you can pray at a shrine to get better upgrades, like different seals and stuff like that. Well, somebody found out that the torii gate that it's just another one. It's not like a specific one for any reason or anything like that. But they learned that the torii gate on Tsushima was going to get torn down because it was just decrepit and out of use. Nobody cared for it anymore. Well, the people that play Ghost of Tsushima were like, "Oh no, we got you're not going to tear down something that's literally older than everyone on the face of the planet right now.
Right.
It's a piece of history. It's like tearing down like
a landmark or
in Japan, those are landmarks.
Yeah.
One, because they're of the religious connotations for Shintoism. But I mean, that's people kind of get annoyed when, tourists just go to Shinto shrines and just, take selfies and shit like that.
Right.
But people that respect the culture that go there will want to go there and, take in the Zen or whatever you have.
Yeah.
And so they start a campaign, just some fans of the game, and they get the shrine refurbished.
Oh.
And it's a brand new gate now.
Oh,
and it's
cool.
amazing. It's like white and black and it looks awesome.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's one of those, again, like it's just a very special game, especially for me that like, I like movies. I like, obviously, like the Kurosawa tie-in is big
You've
for
talked
me.
about this in the past.
Oh yeah. But there's just something about that culture.
You like that samurai spirit,
of course,
warrior type, and I love it
too. To be honest with you, as the game was coming out, I was listening to like Sun Tzu. I was listening to Story of the Five Rings. I don't remember the guy that.
You know what? I bet if we look back to when you brought that up on the podcast, I bet it was June or July.
Yeah, it was probably June or July.
Yeah,
I'll look back. I'm actually curious because. Gosh, who is the writer?
I actually I downloaded that. I've made it through. I think the 2 rings, I believe, on Audible.
Yeah, Minamoto Musashi. Yeah.
Yep.
I was reading those books. I was like, it takes a certain kind of thing to get me that invested. Like
me and Batman.
Yeah, like me with Spider-Man. Like when the Spider-Man PlayStation 4 game came out, I was super excited. I was like, I just want to go watch all the movies.
I'm the same way.
I just want to do everything Spider-Man for about a week, and then it comes out, and then I play the game.
Yeah.
For this, it was like a solid 3 weeks of before and after of me like just really honing in on like why do I idolize this?
Yeah.
I've always asked myself that question when it comes to stuff like why do I think of this as being better than something else?
Yeah.
And the warrior aspect of being a samurai. Not that I'm gonna go like live in the middle of nowhere and cut shit with with a samurai sword.
Yeah.
However,
it'd be really cool.
It'd be really cool to do that. And at the same time, my stepdad actually has like plenty of books and has made samurai swords. I have that connection. He is white as all can be.
Yeah.
But he at a convention that we went to, this is going to sound super like nerdy and niche. We went to a blade show in Atlanta. It is just a convention for all things bladed.
Huh.
Pocket knives, Bowie knives, swords, machetes, anything that has an edge that you can cut stuff with, it's there. But we had to go this one year because this one guy, I think his name is Richard Chen, who is literal living history in Japan, And living history just means like he knows and as the experience of somebody of their culture. This guy, Richard Chen, is the one of the only people in the world that still like does sword making by cultural norms, like how they did it 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And my stepdad has a piece of rice paper that he wrote on. Some people would say drew because it's calligraphy or not kanji.
Yeah.
And it just says true knowledge or like true sword on it, because he and my stepdad had been talking for months about their techniques. And Richard Chen was like, you're one of the only people in the world that knows how to do this the way I do it. And so that all said, like there's multiple levels to this, to why I idolize and like am really invested in samurai and just ancient Japanese culture.
Yeah.
So all that being said, I really enjoy the game.
And you should, dude. I mean, that's sweet.
And I'm a nerd. I like just getting deep into stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
well, speaking of getting deep into stuff, Justice League comes out today. Is out right now.
And it's a 4-hour movie.
4 hours and 2 minutes.
So good luck watching it in one stint.
Yeah. So the first movie that came out in theaters,
2017,
was 120 minutes.
It's too short.
This one is 4 hours. So that's 2 hours of if they just added stuff.
But here's the thing. It's not them adding stuff. Joss Whedon's Justice League, the Justice League, was the 4-hour version cut down. So this is not Zack Snyder coming in and like having a bunch of reshoots and like adding stuff in that wasn't meant to be there in the first place. No, this is Zack Snyder finishing what he started.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I've heard nothing but good things.
Now, I've heard that they did have to come back in and shoot some scenes.
Now, they did do that. And that's totally fair because, let's be honest here, I would rather Henry Cavill come back and reshoot the stuff that he was supposed to be, clean shaven for than have the terrible upper lip that he had.
Yeah.
Whew. I remember, like, I knew about it when I went and watched Justice League in the theaters, but that first scene where, it's him talking to the kids with the iPhone camera.
Right.
You can just tell. You just look at his upper lip and you're like, it's too big.
Yeah, he was filming Mission Impossible.
It wasn't Mission Impossible. It was a man from Uncle. Okay. It was another spy movie. But
gotcha.
Yeah, he has a full beard. Or no, he doesn't have a beard in that. It's just the mustache. It's a rockin' mustache.
Yeah.
But he didn't, because of contracts, he couldn't shave it. And that was something that Joss Whedon had to reshoot because Joss Whedon just wanted that scene.
Yeah.
So instead of that, we get what Zack Snyder meant to do. And if they came in for reshoots, I'm sure Zack Snyder needed to do it because he couldn't use the footage they had.
Yeah.
And that's fine by me. I don't care.
Yeah.
At this point, with Marvel being Marvel, let's be honest here. Is Endgame and Infinity War the same movie? Or should it have been?
No.
Absolutely. It should have been. I would have watched a full 4 hours.
Oh, you're talking about it should have been one movie.
If they could have just made that one movie, I would absolutely have just sat there through the whole thing.
No doubt. Yeah, that's cool.
Like, that's what I do now. Like, at home, if I'm like, I kind of want to watch Endgame, but I could watch Infinity War 2. I'll just set aside the whole night. Like, I'll just sit up and watch it. Because that's what I like to do. Right. I can do anything else because I already know the story. I'm not that invested.
Yeah.
But I can have it on the screen. Mm-hmm. I can watch it because it's that good of a movie. But I can also do something else.
Yeah.
I
That's like me
read and write, whatever.
Listening to a 3-hour and 50-minute Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, to be fair, we do that literally every week, so I'm not really sure why we wouldn't be able to just watch a Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah. So, I mean, my plan, and I don't know how well this plan is going to work, but my plan is to leave the studio.
Yeah.
Go home. Marcus went with his dad for the weekend.
Okay.
Tia's at home. Should be getting home maybe now-ish. Ooh. Maybe a little bit. Probably going to take a shower. Been a long day. Maybe not take a shower. You know what? I don't know.
I don't know.
I already worked.
Maybe I'm going to get spicy
I actually
with
forgot that I worked out this morning and already took a shower. I'll probably just go home, I might even crack open a Zoa.
Oh, at 8:00 at night.
160 grams of caffeine ain't gonna bother me, bro. Crack open a Zoa, get a little caffeinated, curl up in my reclining bed, and watch 4 hours and 2 minutes of this Justice League.
Dude, how about this? I want when you start the movie, I want to know. Because I just need the Gunner Miller commentary of you watching Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut. Yeah. I just need like we did. What was it that you watched a couple weeks ago? I don't even remember.
Your
Scott
stupid
Pilgrim.
movie?
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
or Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
I just need those like in the moment. Like, what the fuck?
Well, so here's what I'll tell you. So I told Marcus about Justice League coming out, and I forgot about him going with his dad tonight. So we were going to watch it with him, but I'll just watch it next week or whatever.
Yeah.
But
it's probably going to be good enough to watch again.
I forgot that. I guess I didn't forget that. Like, Batman vs Superman obviously comes before this, right?
Yeah.
It's the movie right before this, pretty much. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch that with him. So we watched Batman vs Superman just a couple of days ago. We watched half of it one night, and then he needed to go to bed. Then we watched the other half the next night, and he watched all of it with me. Like, loved it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So the next day, I come back from the gym, and Tia's watching the Justice League, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, what? I've never seen this movie. I was like, why are you watching this movie? And she was like, what do you mean why I'm watching? I was like, why are you watching this movie on this day? I don't understand. What are you doing? And she's like, it was one of the things to pick on Hulu just to watch. I was like, I'm sure it is. You know why? Because the Snyder Cut. It's coming out Thursday. And that's what we're watching. She's like, what is the Snyder Cut? And I'm like, hang on. And I have to explain my nerdness to her as to why she doesn't need to watch this because this movie's stupid, obviously.
I love when there's that moment that you have to explain 5 years of continuity.
Yeah.
Of in real life continuity to explain why this is a good thing. And why you're about
and
to
all
watch
you do is
4
just
hours.
stumble all over your words because you can't spit out everything that's in your brain in order to where it's actually going to make sense to the person that has zero clue what's happening in the DC universe. And that's kind of at work too. Like me and my buddy Josh, we know what's going on.
Yeah.
Everyone else, no clue. So you mentioned Snyder Cut. They're like, what's the difference on a Snyder Cut and another movie? And it's like, oh my God. It's a completely different movie. There's a difference.
The easiest way to say it is take a director's cut of any movie that's ever had a director's cut and then have a second movie.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. It's literally another movie on top of a movie that's going to get director's cut on that movie already.
Yeah. The director's cut of Justice League, I think, was a couple extra minutes.
Yeah.
But this is, God, the fact that Zack Snyder filmed a 4-hour movie expecting to put out. I think what the original plan was okay, we're going to put out 2 movies. It's going to be Justice League Part 1 and then Justice League Part 2. That's what makes sense to me in my brain.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he filmed a 4-hour movie. What if Zack Snyder was just the madman that said, listen, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. We're going to make people sit through 4 hours in a theater.
Well, and so the CGI is a little bit better, I guess, in this one.
Possibly.
Possibly.
It could be. Or it could be worse. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to say it's going to be better.
It's probably going to be better. I've heard, this is not a spoiler, I've heard that there are scenes that make you actually care about some of the characters, unlike the first one.
Yeah.
The original cut. And then, the stuff that at the very end, during the big battle, there are other scenes in there that could have probably been in the first one, but you care about them more now because you had the character development.
Yeah.
It's like the Iron Man shoots his repulsor at Captain America's shield to knock off one of the guys on Thor. It's team up stuff like that.
Right.
But you don't care because you're oh, it's just Flash and Cyborg and
they should
Aquaman.
be doing that. Yeah.
They're gonna be they're doing it cool, but they're not friends.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them become friends.
They definitely needed to give a little bit more to Flash and Cyborg.
Flash and Cyborg, I think, are the 2 characters in the Justice League that absolutely needed their own movies before getting this.
Yes.
Let's be honest here. If we, in a perfect world, we would have gotten a Justice League movie after a Cyborg movie, a Flash movie, Wonder Woman, a Batman movie, please. Like, I don't care if it is Ben Affleck. I'll watch a Ben Affleck Batman movie because it's Batman.
Well, he was going to come out with the Batman
After the fact, though.
I know.
That's the thing.
But he was going to write it and produce it.
Yeah. And I still say there is a part of me that wants the Batman with Robert Pattinson, even though Robert Pattinson and Ben Affleck don't look anything alike. I kind of want it to be in the continuity.
Let me tell you something about Robert Pattinson. I know we went on our soapbox about Robert Pattinson and him not wanting to work out.
Yeah.
And him being a little girl. And him being a little...
Soy boy, bitch boy.
Being a little bitch. All right. And then you know what? Then I was like, you know what? We read some other articles. And it's like, it is what it is. I'm going to go watch it. I'm going, it is.
Yeah.
We saw the trailer.
We loved the trailer.
It's like, oh, well, I guess like I said, like in film, you can make him look, enough.
Yeah.
We don't have to know exactly.
My theory again is that he's not working out because he's not the big buff Batman. He is a newer Batman that has no idea what he's doing.
Well, let me tell you something. He could at least be in legit, like some type of a finesse condition. This man now is like holding the what is it?
Production?
The production like hostage. He's like, no, I'm not working out. I'm not doing it. Don't want to.
I haven't heard this. I've got to go find this now.
You've got to look this stuff up. He's just like, yeah, no, I don't want to do it. Nope.
Well, I heard that he was kind of doing the Tom Cruise thing. And he was like, if we're not being COVID safe, I'm not working on this thing.
Yes.
But at the same time, like, we may have our qualms with that, but he's not just thinking about like, oh, I don't want to get sick. Like the Tom Cruise thing. Did you hear? Like,
okay, but he's smashing Catwoman on top of the Batmobile. You can get COVID that way too, pal.
Well, yeah, of course.
No, that's supposedly that happened.
What? I have not kept up with this.
The rumor is he wanted to be COVID safe and all that stuff, but also the rumor is that there's a video circulating out there or pictures out there that there's proof that this man hooked up with Catwoman on top of the Batmobile. And that they've developed some type of romance.
I'm sure that was going to happen. It's Zoe Kravitz. Sure.
You know who Zoe Kravitz's stepdad is?
Yeah.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Well, I wish Aquaman would kill Robert Pattinson.
Jeez. Okay.
I mean, like, it's to a point now where I think we all have came to the conclusion. If you haven't, you should at this point. COVID's fake.
We can't say that.
If it's not fake, it's not that bad.
We can agree on that. It's not as bad.
It's definitely real, but it's definitely not bad.
Like, people are getting sick.
People have gotten a couple colds, and people that are already deathly sick, even if they don't know it yet, might have died. Or if you're 20 years over the average age of living and you've already won, you might have also died. But
how did we go from justice?
Because this is what this idiot's done. Now the CDC is saying the whole 6 feet rule this entire time, there's actually no proof for that.
I mean, there were no proof of masks.
We'll just say don't get within 3 feet when you're social distancing now. What? That's the new thing. 6 feet, we can't necessarily prove that. So now social distancing is now 3 feet. Yeah. So listen, guys. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody got their checks. Hope everybody's happy. We don't even have a real president. Kamala's running the country.
We don't have a real president because he's green screen when he does press.
Yeah, like literally the man, like, this is what I want. I just want legit proof that this guy is in a room surrounded by reporters answering questions that are fresh and no one knows what's coming. Give me that. That's all I want.
I just want Joe Rogan to interview him.
Yes. Somebody we know.
God, that would be hilarious if Joe Rogan just comes out. We have no idea. We haven't heard anything about it, but Joe Rogan just posts on Spotify. Joe Rogan and Joe Biden from the White House.
Yeah. Check out this cool cat. He's actually a nice guy. Give him a chance.
He called me fat, but he's pretty cool.
Man. Anyway, so yeah, Justice League.
Justice League, it looks awesome. I'm going to go. Well, actually, when I'm down, up editing this and all that stuff, I'm probably going to put it on.
Yeah. Well, I will probably watch it at least some of it tonight.
Okay.
I will if it does not get finished tonight, which that would be like midnight. I mean, what time is it right now?
7:00.
It'd be like a midnight. I really don't want to stay up to midnight because I got to wake up in the morning and work out, but I might.
I've got to be up.
I did it last night because last night I caught up on Young Rock.
Ooh.
And then I discovered a show that was on Hulu called Superstore.
Dude. Oh my gosh.
And it's hilarious.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I love Superstore.
And I also have already caught up and binged Mr. Mayor.
I haven't heard of that one.
Hilarious.
Okay.
Ted Danson plays a mayor of California, and it is modern time.
Awesome.
It's hilarious.
So here's my thing. You like Superstore?
I've watched the first 3 episodes.
It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I think I watched like the first 2 seasons because that's all that was out.
There's like 6 of them now.
And that was also when I was working in a big box store.
Oh, that's cool.
Working in electronics.
That's funny.
So it was literally me getting off of work, going home, and watching work.
That's funny.
But people have fun at work.
Yeah.
I also had fun at work.
That's why I like The Office.
Exactly. Superstore is the office for big box retail stores.
Right.
Here's the thing. There's another show that I think you'd like. I think I've mentioned it before. It's called Kim's Convenience.
Kim's Convenience. I don't think so.
It is. It's a Canadian show. I believe it's on Netflix. It is about a Korean immigrant and his wife and their 2 children that run a convenience store.
I've seen this definitely on Netflix. I haven't watched it, but I've seen it.
It is very good. I would not say it's as funny as maybe, Superstore, but it is as engaging. Like you want to know what happens every episode.
Yeah.
Like there's an episode where there's I think it's the whole episode. I can't remember, but he's just an old Korean guy, and because it's in Vancouver or wherever this is in Canada.
Right.
There's a LGBTQ parade outside, and a homosexual man comes in and he says, "Any discounts for the parade?" And he's like, "Discount for what?" And it's like, well, there's a parade. A lot of people are doing discounts. It's okay if you're not. Oh, what is you? And the punchline is like another guy comes in and he's like, "Oh, you want discount for what? Oh, you are gay, right? No, I'm not." And he's like, "It's okay. I have gaydar." It is fantastic.
That's funny.
And what's weird is like you watch the show and you're like, Paul Sun Hyung Lee, he sounds like he has just like English, like a bad English accent. And then you like watch him in literally anything else. He was in The Mandalorian, which is pretty cool. But he has like this thick accent on the show, but then you hear him in anything else. He speaks like perfect English. Like he's like, he sounds like you, like just like a straight, no accent whatsoever.
Right.
And there's something, I think it was like him and the woman that plays the wife. They're like doing like, a BuzzFeed show, like episode on YouTube,
right?
And they're like cooking or something, and they like go in and out of the accent. It's hilarious.
That's pretty good. I have to check that out. Kim's Convenience.
Kim's Convenience. It's very good.
I'll check that out. You need to watch Mr. Mayor.
I need to watch Boss Level.
Yeah,
that was I specifically remembered this morning. I was like, I could watch Boss Level, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't remember why. I think it was just because I didn't want to sit through a movie.
I'd say Boss Level is your next watch after Justice League.
I think I'm going to watch it first, just because I don't want to watch Justice League. Like, I don't know. The longer we talk right now, the less time I have to watch Justice League.
So
So yeah, we're at an hour. We can cut this.
We're at an hour?
Yeah. Episode 60. That was a good one.
March Madness starts this weekend.
Are you even still gambling? You haven't mentioned it in
Yeah, well, I am.
weeks.
Yeah, I'm gambling. I told you I don't want to, I'm not gambling as much.
Don't want to get burnt out.
Well, I'm pretty decent at football because I feel like I can figure out. I feel like I can analyze football.
Yeah.
UFC, some fights, I think I can analyze. So that's fun too. But I'm not just going to bet just to bet. But I mean, March Madness, like I got some money on tonight's games, the play-in games. But other than that, I mean,
You're still up?
We'll see.
That's the
I'm
question.
still up. Yeah.
Okay.
I took money out a while back, and then I put like $100 in, and from that $100, just like this past UFC thing, I went up. I only bet like $10 a fight, so I went up to like I don't know, $165, and then I've bet on like 30 on tonight's games. So if I win that, I'm just work my way.
You just
back
don't
up.
sound as excited, Connor. You just don't sound as excited.
No, I'm not. I mean, I do. I enjoy UFC. Here's the problem. When I'm betting with basketball, I'm literally picking red or black. You know, like maybe I've learned like regardless of whichever one you pick, you got a 50% chance
Yeah.
to win the game. So, and for some reason, if I don't know anything about it, I win more. I don't know. Like I forgot the games were coming on tonight. I'll just check my account. I'll bet like $10 on a 3-game parlay. Look in the morning and be like, you won $60. I'm like, oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Cool.
So,
interesting.
all right. Well, next week we'll follow up on March Madness. We'll talk about Justice League.
Hopefully.
What else is going? Oh, my rib injury.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about
we
that.
got to talk about that for a second. So rib injury, dude, it's still a thing. So I wrestled on the first Friday of March.
Yeah.
So that was I think the second or third.
Mhm.
So then from that Saturday to
Oh god, it was the 6th. It's the 18th now.
yeah. So the 6th, right? So what was how many days would it be up until this Monday?
Up until this Monday?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Was that
So
9 days?
Yeah, it'd be 8 days, 9 days.
Yeah. So 9 days. So I went to the gym probably 5 or 6 of those days. Out of those 5 or 6 days, maybe even 7. Out of those days I went to the gym, I did deep breathing work and extended sauna work. I didn't get on the treadmill. I didn't ride the elliptical. I didn't pick up a weight. Nothing. I literally can't tell you the last time I have not worked out for over a week.
Jeez.
Maybe since I was a freshman in high school. That's no lie. I just turned 30, just to let people know. Like, I mean, there might have been weeks that I wasn't motivated or I was busy or I was sick or something. I still worked out at least once or twice or 3 times. Or if I miss a few days, do 2 a day. Like, never not done anything.
Are you okay?
If I hurt my knee, I work out my upper body. If I hurt my shoulders, I work out my legs. If I hurt my neck, I do something. Like, I always.
Are you getting the shakes? Are you having withdrawals?
So here's what happened. With this core injury, I've never had a core injury. To flex anything was tender and sore.
Yeah.
And like I told you, the first few days or first week, my rib was popping out of place. Like if I moved a certain way. So it was like a loose tendon.
You did get this checked out, right?
No.
Okay.
I'll do it myself. So I did all my ice and ibuprofen and sauna, and I started feeling good, like to where it wasn't hurting whatsoever.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So this Monday, Monday, your boy, these Zoas are coming out. Your boy's got Zoa. The Rock's putting out workout tips and getting me fired up for Black Adam. So I'm like, all right. So I went back and looked at one of the Rock's videos he put out during quarantine where he broke down his training schedule for Black Adam, what he was doing. It was like Monday does chest, abs, calves, cardio. Tuesday, back, neck, cardio, abs, so on, so on. So, and he does everything in giant sets, which is 3 to 4 exercises per body part. And then out of that, he'll do 4 to 5 rounds. And the way he explained it was do your first 3 rounds and get that fight over with, and then compare your 4th and 5th round to a championship fight in the UFC. And I was like, oh, he got me. So now I'm going to do 4 or 5 rounds in every single body part, 3 to 4 exercises, and just do as much weight as I can and go to a failure. So Monday I did chest. Now, everything was fine. I did abs, I did chest. I mean, I can't do like a sit-up. That hurts.
Okay.
But I did like planks and stuff and got all ready. Went to do my first set of, I was going to do like bench press, and then I was going to do machine press, and then I was going to do incline dumbbell press, and then flies. That was my 4 exercises for chest. Done them my whole life. Doesn't bother me. Your boy's been like, there's a lot of things I'm not good at. There's a couple things I am good at. This happens to be one of them. Like, right? Like, this is my comfort zone.
I don't
right?
like how this is
so
ramping up.
I've got 135 on the bench. That's a 45 on each side. That was my max when I first worked out ever. History, 8th grade, right? Pretty cool. So I go to lift the bar off of the rack, and immediately I realized, oh, hello, the stabilizer muscles that you never think about when you're working out, doing squats or anything. You then realize it's your rib cage. Your rib cage stabilizes your chest. That's how that works. So I'm laying on the bench, wide grip, about to do my first set, take it off. I'm like, ooh, that's a little sore. I go down, and when I push up, it was like my entire core, like just set on fire. And I was like, oh, that's not good. So then I just kept going. And I was like, oh, this is just going to be a pain I have to deal with. So then I was like, okay, good. I'm good. I did like, 30, 40 reps, whatever it might have been. Warming up, boom, racket. Now, the easiest part to any workout, I've seen people struggle, but the easiest part to any workout is just setting up. Sitting up after you bench, laying flat on your back and sitting up. Went to get up. People are now looking at me. And I'm like, oh, the muscle that is hurt, that's not recovered because I've only been out for 8 days, that could possibly be torn, maybe sprained, maybe stretched, tendons. Hell, I don't know. My ribs are popping out for a week. I don't know. They just stopped 2 days before this. And I'm like, oh, so it's the muscles in my ribs which contract if you try to sit up. That's the only time it's going to hurt.
Sit up? Like, did it not hurt until you worked out?
No, so I have laid on the bed, but when I get out of bed, I will roll out of bed because I got into a habit of, well, I can't sit up, so I'm going to roll out of bed. So I haven't put myself in a situation to where I need to sit up whatsoever. Like anything that I've been doing. Because I was real conscious of my posture the past week to keep my rib from popping out of place. Yeah. So I finally got that under control. And now, I was like, I'm good. So I go to sit up. I'm like, oh, ow. Oh, I can't sit up. Like, that's the thing. So now I'm having to. So what I had to do was I'd grab my rib cage to make sure the pressure's off of it. And then I would take my hand and I'd grab the bar and I would take my feet and I'd swing my feet up and then I'd push the bar with my hand and I could get up. And it was a very sharp, very painful feeling in my ribs, but then would immediately go away. So I'm like, all right, this is either like a bone bruise, a sprained muscle, or something. That's the only 2 options at this point. So I do the machine bench where you kind of sit up like you're sitting in a chair. Doesn't bother me. I do incline dumbbell bench. Doesn't bother me at all. I do flies. Doesn't bother me. I go for the second round of bench. And I'm like, maybe I'm warmed up now. Maybe that's where just doing that thing first is where it hurt me. Nope. Sat down, 135, 20, 30 reps. Try to sit back up. Excruciating pain trying to sit up. And then I just realized, okay, so the only thing I can't do is I can't do a sit up or like lay flat and raise up like a sit up. So everything else has been good. Now, here's one thing. I haven't been necessarily sore. I mean, in years. Occasionally, every now and then, maybe I might blow my arms up and they get a little sore, like my forearms, or I might do legs or something. They might get a little sore. But no. Dude, my whole upper body. I've done chest this week. I've done neck. I've done back. I've done shoulders. I've done arms. My entire upper body feels like I've been through 3 weeks of football camp. Like, I am destroyed at this moment. But it feels fantastic to be back in the gym because I got to be in a main event in 3 weeks. So there's the update. So hopefully here in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm saying, hey, I can actually lay on the bench and get up and I'm in zero pain because I've been doing abs every day like a madman. And I'm going to build my core back up. I'm going to fight this injury. I'm not scared of it. And we're going to keep moving on. But other than that, keep sipping your Zoa, the official healthy energy drink of Chat with Gunner. Keep sipping your Zoa.
Should we be those guys that say that we're sponsored by Zoa until they actually sponsor us?
No. Just I won't say this. We're not sponsored by Zoa.
We have to say.
And even if we were sponsored by Zoa, I would still invest in Zoa because Zoa is good for you. Sip your Zoa. Let's freaking go to next week's podcast, episode 6. All right, guys. See ya.